So how can you actually make your slides useful for you and make sure that they support you during your presentation? So this is something that I get asked quite a lot, like how do I design my slides in a way that they can actually support me during my presentation? Because more often than not, what happens is that people think that by putting more information on their slides, even though they know it's not a good strategy for the audience, but they still feel that it's better for them, like it will make it easier for them to present their work. And this is a very common misconception, and I am sure that you also experienced it. Like the most logical thing that one would say, okay, but if I put more information on the slides, if I get lost during some point of my presentation, I can always go back to the slides, refer back to the slides, and take a look at what I've written there. However, when we're giving presentations, and I'm sure you can relate to that, there are many things happening at the same time, and everything tends to happen super fast, right? So the presentations are typically 20 minutes, half an hour maximum, and everything happens super fast. And when you're sort of in that flow, you really are not even looking at the slides. So, and you for sure don't have time to browse and search through the slides that are crammed with so much information and so many words and see what is the information and the missing piece, the missing information that you are looking for in that moment. So clearly this is not a good strategy, but what works, so here is what I want to emphasize in this video, this clearly doesn't work, so please don't do that, because it's not good for your audience, but it's not even good for you, because chances are that if you have more words to search through, the less likely you are to actually find what you are searching for. So what can you do instead is to design the slides in a way that actually supports the way you're talking. The way I like to think about slides is just a supporting material that is there for my audience more than for me. But of course, since they're already there, we can use it in our favor a lot. So the thing is that whenever you are expressing and explaining your work to people who are, to some audience, for example, whether in an interview or in some report presentation or progress presentation or whatever, chances are that people are very much not familiar with what you're doing. So a good way to do so is to just make sure that they are part of the picture, they're taken care of. So provide them the context, provide them what you're working on, tell them why this is important and why should they care. And all of those things you can also put it into some slides so that they can visually refer to what you're saying. Now, visuals tend to work much better than words, but if you feel that for your own to feel safer and better yourself, you can put some keywords that will then remind you of some things that you have to say. And here we come to the basic part and the most important part of this video, which is to try to make sure that your slides are a reminder for you, a reminder of some sentences or some points that you want to mention in your presentation. So definitely a good strategy is not to cram the slides with all of the information and so on, because people cannot really read and listen to you at the same time. So they are probably going to be reading, but they are not going to listen to you, and then you are going to get lost, and then you're going to look at the slides for the information that you're missing. You're not going to find it because there is so much things going on. So that's the thing. Now, the question is, how do I synthesize that? How do I make sure that my slides actually support me? The most important part is to practice what is it that you're actually trying to say. And one of the reasons people tend to say, oh, but I need this information on my slides, is because they are really fulfilling their own need before fulfilling this, giving this information to their audience. And whenever we are giving a presentation or speaking to other people, we really have to make sure that they are in the main position. Like, they are the ones who we should serve, because we are there to explain them something, to tell them something. So just by doing this mindset shift, you will already sort of be able to filter out all of the things that you don't need, and hence leave only the things that are super important for you and that will actually remind you of the points that you have to address during your talk. How to synthesize and how to work on this presentation, and how to make sure that your presentations are really serving you and making your job easier when it comes to presenting. This is something that I work a lot with my clients on my coaching program, and I feel that not even a 3 hours video would be enough to explain how to do it, because the point isn't in the theory, the point is in the practice. Like, how do you actually apply it? And this is why I have such an issue with communication courses, because they always teach you how to do stuff, like they teach you what should be done, but they don't give you any actual hands-on experience, at least not the majority of them. And that's where the change happens. That's where you really learn by doing, and this is something I'm a firm believer of, learning by doing, and this is actually what I teach my clients in my coaching program. So if you're a STEM professional, a scientist, engineer, developer, data scientist, and you feel that you would need some help with your communication skills, specifically if you feel that your lack of communication skills or your not so good communication skills are really taking a toll on your career progress, on getting that project that you cannot get funding for because you don't know how to write your reports and so on. If this is something that you would like to work on, I will leave a link down below in the description where you can schedule a completely free discovery call with me, and there we can talk about your specific challenges, your issues that you're facing right now in your STEM career, specifically communication wise. We can see if we are a good fit to work together, and if this program would be something that would suit you in this moment of your career. So I hope you found this video useful, and see you next time. Bye bye.